My 2023 at the Joint. 2023 was a great year for music appreciation experiences at the Joint Boutique Hotel and Cowork. Having previously offered music appreciation presentations at the Palm, Encanto, Nacho Daddy, and the Los Mangos Public Library, I first approached Eric at the Joint in the fall of 2022 about the possibility of joining his Grow by Joint adult education project, and he was very enthusiastic from the get-go. To test the waters, I began with a non-musical presentation called Vernacular Spanish in January, followed shortly thereafter by great Mexican songs, their composers, their performers, and their stories in February. In March, I continued with a primer on how to listen to jazz, and shortly after their first prize win in the So You Think You Can Rise talent competition, a special panel discussion with the Raíces folkloric group that included an amazing live performance at the end. Then there was a musical theater primer in April with What is a Musical Anyway, followed by At the Piano, a survey of the musical instrument we know and love, along with very special music composed for it, also in April. May seemed like a perfect month for Blame It on the Bossa Nova, one of my favorite musical genres of all time, and one that took the world by storm during the 50s and 60s. I always enjoy asking attendees what aspects of music they are interested in, so at someone's request, I put together Sounds Familiar in June, where we explored notable cases of music plagiarism throughout modern history. This was followed by Copeland Gershwin, a survey of two extraordinary American composers. Also in June, I presented Promo Prodigy, a non-music related empowerment workshop to help other event producers, organizers, musicians, and nonprofit organizations elevate their event promotion game online using only free tools. It empowered some, but attendance was somewhat disappointing. Shortly after my birthday in July, it was time for Opera, an introduction, where we explored the enduring power of opera through time, and then a look back at the evolution of sound in movies with The Sound of Movies, from silent films to sci-fi dreams. At this point, offering 2 different music appreciation presentations per month became the norm. I was so moved by the passing of Tony Bennett that shortly thereafter I put together Tony Bennett, his life and his music as a tribute to the artist in August. It was very well received. And then there was Goodbye, featuring farewell songs for every occasion, including a couple of Mexican songs. And at the request of some, I presented Promo Prodigy again as an encore. It was even less attended than the first occasion, so it became apparent to me that there is not enough demand out there for people looking to improve their promotional game. No biggie, after all, my thing is music. But then came September, and I became aware of the huge interest there is out there to learn more about Mexico's history and culture. And since September is Mexico's Independence Month, I put together Viva Mexico, which included music, stories, culture, and legacy of our country's independence from Spanish rule. And for the first time, we became close to selling out the house. Then later on in the month, we celebrated Stephen Sondheim's wit as a lyricist as we examined up close some of the words to his most enduring songs. In October, we repeated the Tony Bennett tribute by request, and then we put on our boogie shoes as we explored disco music's evolution and cultural impact in the world. Then, at a friend's suggestion, I put together a special presentation on Day of the Dead on the 1st of November, featuring a historic and cultural overview of Mexico's most popular celebration. And even though it featured very little music, it was a sold-out success. We continued the month with a survey of great jazz vocalists of the 20th century and a history of country music, from dusty trails to chart-topping tales, which was another audience request. And before November was over, I presented Day of the Dead once again, this time as a fundraising effort for Ruta Mushi, Puerto Vallarta's mobile history museum, with all the proceeds going for them. Once again, it was a sold-out presentation. We began December with an encore presentation of How to Listen to Jazz, which made a lot of sense after the jazz vocalist's presentation, and wrapped the month with Risque, a look at dirty songs from the past 5 centuries. That's 25 presentations. In each of these 25 presentations, I had the huge privilege of connecting people with amazing music and with the essential and often forgotten art of enjoying music without any distractions. I made a number of friends, and I learned quite a bit about music myself.
You suck!
None of this would have been possible without Joint Boutique Hotel owner Eric's vision of his hotel as a vehicle for adult education, without the leadership of Alexis, who oversees the Grow program for Eric, the rest of the staff at the hotel, and of course, and last but not least, the curiosity of those wonderful audience members that have blessed me with their presence and support. I am deeply, deeply grateful. We are starting 2024 with a bang, featuring 2 presentations, Soulful Storytellers, in which we examine the impact of 5 extraordinary Mexican songwriting musicians from the past and present, and then we try to understand why classical music is performed and recorded repeatedly in so many versions, the art of interpretation in classical music. So if you're looking forward to expanding your knowledge and appreciation of music, join us in 2024 at the Joint Boutique Hotel and Cowork. There is so much extraordinary music out there, and I can't wait for us to connect with each other through music. Here's to a very musical new year.